Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, we are going to talk about what's the difference between a narcissist and a sociopath. Stay tuned. So narcissists versus sociopaths. I talked a little bit about some distinctions between narcissists and sociopaths in one of my other videos. On the video, If You Can Change Your Abusive Partner, I discussed it a little bit there. But I got a message from one of my subscribers that wanted me to go into a little bit more depth and able to decipher the differences between someone who's a narcissist and someone who's a sociopath. So here we go. First of all, I would like to clarify a few things about narcissists and sociopaths before we get into what the differences are between these two different types of folks. The first thing that I want to talk about is that narcissist and sociopath, those are personality traits. They're not actually mental health diagnoses. Someone can have a mental diagnosis and be a sociopath. However, there is no diagnosis for sociopath, at least not according to the DSM-5. While a narcissist can be diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, that isn't always the case. And I did make a video going into detail about the distinguishing factors between someone who's a narcissist and someone that has narcissistic personality disorder or NPD. And I'll make sure that I leave that linked below. But what these two things are personality traits that people kind of fall somewhere on the spectrum of when we're thinking of people that are narcissistic or people that are sociopaths. The mental health diagnosis is most closely associated with someone who's really high in sociopathic personality traits is antisocial personality disorder. However, I do want to say that not everyone that meets criteria for antisocial personality disorder is a sociopath. It can get a little bit complicated when we're talking about diagnosing personality disorders because in order to be clinically diagnosed with a personality disorder, you have to meet so much criteria in order to receive the diagnosis. It also has to impact the functioning of the person. And where we run into issues with things like narcissistic personality disorder and even antisocial personality disorder is that the person that has the traits of these disorders is not always personally impacted by them. Therefore, they don't qualify for a diagnosis because in order to have a mental health diagnosis, the person that has the diagnosis needs to be impacted in daily functioning, personal relationships. They have to see an inability to not be able to do those things effectively. So for the purposes of this video, when I talk about narcissist or a sociopath, I'm referring to the people that tend to be at the more extreme end of both of these personality traits. The next thing that I want to clarify is that basically everyone that fits the criteria of a sociopath is a narcissist. But not everyone that is a narcissist is a sociopath. So that brings us to the differences. What are the differences then between a narcissist and a sociopath? A lot of people regard sociopaths, especially those that are on the extreme end of the continuum of that personality trait, to be even more manipulative and cunning than a narcissist. A lot of times sociopaths are regarded to really not have any type of personality at all. On the very, very extreme end, we see individuals that really don't have any empathy whatsoever. And this isn't always the case with narcissists. Narcissists sometimes do have a small amounts of empathy. Clearly not large amounts of empathy, but there's usually a little bit more empathy with a narcissist than there is with a sociopath, where we see tiny amounts maybe towards more towards the middle, and then at the extreme end, there isn't any. Sociopaths are far more likely to break the law. This does not mean like being a serial killer or murdering anyone. Actually, that is a big myth. A lot of sociopaths, they never kill anyone. However, they might steal from people. They might be con artists. Sociopaths are really, really good at taking on the personas of other people because, again, they don't really truly have a personality. With narcissists, they have such a large ego that anything that might put them in a negative light, they try to avoid that. So not that they can't be con artists or break the law. However, they're more likely to not do that as opposed to someone who is sociopathic, because if they were to get caught, this would put them in a very negative light. Where sociopaths, they try to get ahead maybe more with doing illegal activities. Narcissists are more likely, the goal is still power and control and fame. However, they are more likely to try to work hard at it. So they aren't as likely to do things that would be considered illegal. However, they will use a lot of like manipulation and control tactics to get what they want. That's common among both narcissists and sociopaths. Really, the key personality trait that really does separate narcissists and sociopaths, and is the reason why people that are sociopathic are more likely to engage in criminal activities, is because they have a lack of remorse. Narcissists do have the capability of remorse, so they have the capability to feel bad about something. Although I will say that even if they feel bad, their ego is so big that they usually project it onto other people or blame other people for whatever the issue may be. But they do have the ability to feel negative feelings about a bad situation. Sociopaths don't. Really, they just usually don't care at all. Their emotional spectrum is very, very limited. So feeling remorse is usually, if it's present, it's in very, very small amounts. And things like fear are also quite absent to people that are sociopathic. When you don't experience fear and you don't have any remorse, you're far more likely to be more comfortable with violating the rights of others and breaking the law. Also, sociopaths are far less interested in what you think about them compared to narcissists. Narcissists care very much about what you think of them. They are all about outward presentation and how they're being perceived by other people. I hope this video was helpful in addressing some of the differences between sociopaths and narcissists. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel for 2 new mental health videos every single week.